This is undoubtedly one of the weirdest LEGO Star Wars sets of all time, but it's not even getting the attention it deserves as a weird LEGO Star Wars set because it's releasing alongside sets like Jedi Bob Starfighter and the Dark Side Millennium Falcon. It's simply being overshadowed. But this is the 75392 Creative Play Droid Builder with 1,186 pieces. It costs $100, which seems like a good price for the piece count, but we'll come back to the price near the end of the review. The set frankly is overpriced. It does though have a 25th anniversary minifig in the form of young Princess Leia and Lola, which might get some collectors in the door on this set that otherwise wouldn't have been. Unboxing the set is no different than any other modern LEGO Star Wars set, but a highlight of buying the set in particular is that you do get 4 separate instruction manuals for the 4 separate astromech droids. So if you wanted some sort of group build out of this, this is an ideal set for that. Now moving into our 25th anniversary figure in young Princess Leia and Lola, it comes on that 25th anniversary base, which looks great here as always. And despite young Leia not being a particularly interesting choice for a 25th anniversary figure, like when you have something like Darth Malak next to young Leia, you just wish you had more things like Darth Malak. I think this young Leia is well executed. It looks like young Leia. There were other outfit options they could have chosen for her from the Kenobi show, but maybe they went with this one because it kind of reminds you of Endor Leia. I don't know. That's just kind of my thought process on that. She looks good, fine, whatever. Don't have anything bad to say about her other than I do wish it was just a cooler character. Now to the side of her, we actually have another little character in her droid Lola, and this one actually has a great print on top. I think it looks amazing. However, if you compare it to what it really should be in the show, this thing should be about a quarter the size. It should be printed on a 1 stud round tile and not a 2x2 plate. Like, I think it's just way too oversized. Leia could be holding it in her hand and it would look awesome, but they chose to make it 4 times too big. So I'm split on that. Like, great printing detail, looks nice, but it's just too big compared to what it should be. And not everything in LEGO is going to be 1-to-1 scale with one another. I'm very fine with that. But this is a case in particular where they have an existing piece that perfectly fits the size that Lola should be in scale to a figure, and they opted not to do that. So I disagree with that choice. I think that's a bad choice and ultimately makes me not like this Lola as much as I would. So these are the 4 astromech droids we have included: Chopper, R5J2, R2D2, and QTKT on the back right there. And before we show off all of their accessories and everything, I just wanted to kind of judge them on their own merits as displayable small astromech droids, because I have a feeling that a lot of adult fans and fans of my channel that would want to buy something like this don't really care about all the other stuff we're going to get into and just want to know, like, is this Chopper good to put on your desk? And the Chopper, first off, might be my favorite here. I think it's the best one. It definitely lends itself well to this smaller size. He's still got a very cute look to him. He's got the one eye up here. You've got the dome on top, and while you can't push it down any further, you could raise it up a little bit if you really wanted to. You've got the hands that can move up and down a little bit, and because they can turn, you can like change the emotion of them to kind of feel sad or down, and so you can definitely change the way that Chopper feels with something like that, although I think the ideal look is definitely like a happy, excited one where they're in the upward position celebrating. He's got a little wheel on the bottom here, and I think the biggest downfall of all of these astromech droids is this piece on the side here. It just feels massive. It feels like a kid wearing shoulder pads in a suit or something. Like they're just too big on all of the astromech droids, and so this piece kind of ruins the feel to me for a lot of these. Definitely might not be something that gets you, but really I can't help but key in on this piece as something that definitely feels out of place on these builds. Just like Chopper, I also think this R2 is something that could look great on your desk. You can see that third leg, no longer the wheel. Definitely makes it feel like he's moving though. You got the printed eye, you've got some printing detail in the center of the body there, and just overall nice design other than kind of the shoulder area of the astromech droid, if you will. And that'll be kind of the theme throughout with all of these. But overall, like for a small R2D2 that's bigger than a Brickhead's, but smaller than maybe a buildable character, this thing looks really good. Before I touch on the other 2 astromech droids, I want to show you R2 next to a Brickhead's version of himself. This is basically a $5 Brickhead's versus a $25 astromech droid, although in this set, part of the $25 has to also be attributed to some of the accessories and the young Princess Leia that's included, so it's not necessarily telling the whole story there. But I don't know, if you say this is $20 in the set, is it really worth 4 times the price? I mean, it looks about a 4 times upscale to me, I guess. Like, you can rationalize this being worth $20 almost. Like, it's definitely not a $10 Brickhead size. I'll show you that. So Darth Maul here is what a normal $10 Brickheads would be. And so if you think a $10 Brickheads is fairly priced, well then If you think this is 10, then this is 20, then you can kind of talk yourself into this Creative Play droid builder being worth $100 somehow, as insane as that sounds. But yeah, I don't want to give my final thoughts on the price just yet. I just want to show you the Brickheads comparison while I had the version up that has a direct Brickheads comparison. R5 here is a wonderfully evil feeling astromech droid to pit against maybe some of the nicer astromech droids in the set. You've got that same print from R2 just done in a black color scheme, and the head is significantly different than R2, just a way different design, but like the body and legs and everything are basically the same design, just color swapped. And I feel like I neglected to show this on R2 or Chopper, but I mean, the heads, of course, turn 360 degrees, and the legs also have a little bit of posability too, although, you know, I don't know why you do that. I just kind of leave it in the one position, but it is something you have the option to go and screw around with, or kids can play with, certainly. So yeah, R5 looks great, and he's going to be a fun one to mix up when we get to the builder part of this video. Our fourth and final astromech droid is the oh-so-cute QT-KT, and if you know a little something about LEGO Star Wars, when designers are able to hide a pink brick inside of a set, apparently they get to eat cake. Well, it makes me wonder what they got for putting this much pink in a LEGO Star Wars set. I wouldn't know for sure off the top of my head, but I'd make a good bet that this is the most pink we've ever had in a LEGO Star Wars set, which is kind of just a cool fact. The reason I think this character is here, outside of like having a cool backstory of, you know, who QTKT is and where it came from and all that, this set. Oh, by the way, QTKT looks great. I mean, just like R2 Chopper and R5 there. This print is actually a little bit different. I actually like that, by the way. You get that little bit of white extra detail there. You know, they go the extra mile for accuracy, even in a little kid set. Isn't that awesome? And yeah, the head has that same swiveling motion and everything. So great stuff. Looks great. Interesting color scheme for sure. Something that you really aren't going to see very often. Tie that in with a super questionable 25th anniversary choice in Young Leia. I mean, if you let the fans vote for 25th anniversary figures, Young Leia wouldn't make the top 100. Like, it just wouldn't happen. So it makes you wonder, like, you're seeing these two things. And then you got to look at, like, what's the core of this set, which is what we're getting to. And that's kind of like playing dress up. And those three things, to me, make this quite possibly the first ever LEGO Star Wars set that I look at and I'm like, that's made for girls. It just is. Like, this is a LEGO Star Wars set for girls. Now, there's obviously aspects of it that boys might enjoy. And as a collector, like, girl, boy, whatever, like, you know, pink R2, regular R2, I would collect all of it. It doesn't matter if it's for boys or for girls, you know, Princess Leia, this, that, or the other, right? That's not the point of what my discussion here is. Just for the younger side of things, this is one of the few things, if the only thing ever, that has been so, in my opinion, obviously made to target that demographic. It's interesting just to see in the world of LEGO Star Wars. My camera temperature has risen. Stop shooting if you are in the shoot mode. It's trying to stop me from getting my point across. That's crazy. And there was one more piece of that puzzle before my camera overheated. It said this set is a Target exclusive. The demographic of people that would go in Target very much include moms and their daughters that might come across something like this and see a pink astromech droid and buy it, and see that you can play dress up with astromech droids and buy it, you know? So I think there's four things there that very, very, very much point to this being the first ever LEGO Star Wars set, just specifically directed at girls. And in that fashion, we have a lot of accessories. You gotta accessorize. And so we've got the rubber ducky, which I think is my favorite. Like, just by far, this is the funniest, coolest thing. The set's so weird, I feel like I'm so out of order trying to review this, but each of the astromech droids are modular. Like, their sections come off. So if you want to place the rubber ducky on R2 here, you got to pull his bottom side off. Now you can see some of the inside of R2 there, and you take the rubber ducky. I'll show you this first, I guess. You can see how the connection points would have the similarities there. And so you take the rubber ducky and you attach him to the bottom of R2, and now you have a R2-D2 rubber ducky. You can take the foot off. Is it like that? I think it's the whole thing comes off. Oh yeah, it does. So there we go. And there it is, R2-D2 with his rubber ducky flotation device, even with the cute little rubber ducky tail on the back. Now, some of the modifications can be even simpler because they include things like a mustache. And so you could just put a mustache on Chopper, and I feel like that fits Chopper's vibe, but there's a lot more accessories. So let me just show you all the accessories, and then we'll get to decorate more of these guys. So we've got a few different hats, one of which looks like it's from Pokemon. We've got one with a flower on top, and then we've got the cowboy hat here. We've got a lollipop. We've got some headphones, which are pretty cool. We've got some thrusters, which you could throw on the side of any of these characters, but I think you know which one it's going to go on. Actually, I don't think it would fit on Chopper, but anyway, got another top. I guess we had four hats. Top hat, little bow tie, little piece that might go on top of the head, little glasses, ice cream, and like sunglasses. So quite a few accessories included here, like definitely enough that there's something for basically any little kid to go in and have fun decorating up their characters. Now, I think if you're like a collector watching this, obviously you're probably not going to decorate too much. Maybe you do the R2 with rubber ducky. Maybe you do the chopper with mustache. But you're probably not going like super all out with these. So if we want to take our cowboy hat and put it on chopper, there's a couple studs on top. You can see all the open studs on bottom, and you just attach it like that. Super simple. And I think chopper with a cowboy hat and the mustache, of course, is a total vibe. The top of R5 is a bit different with this piece here, but luckily the top hat has plenty of open space to slot right on top and connect over. Looks great. You can take these very sophisticated looking glasses and put them over the front of his face, and it looks like he's got his eyes looking through there. And then I think also on the box they give him the bow tie, so the whole little purple fit here. How does this one go on? Is it just like this? Simple enough? Yeah, simple enough. Now for Cutie Katie, of course, they gave her these banger sunglasses. Looks like, you know, she's like got them slightly down at the beach to look at whoever's walking by or something. There's your hat with the flower on top. Definitely makes Cutie Katie look a little extra fun there. We'll throw her into the back. And finally, we have R2, who if you wanted to add on some headphones, you could attach them to the top like that. If you wanted to get extra cute with it, this is also included to put on top, but I feel like that's a little too far. He is the only one that I think is truly fitting to have these boosters. And so now R2-D2 can truly fly away with his little rubber ducky thing. It's super cute, super fun way to do this. And technically, they show this on the back of the box, although maybe kids in their imagination may do it. All right, great. You can totally change out their appendages and switch over different body parts kind of as you please. Not something I would do, but like just having the option is nice, I guess. $100 for a set like this feels like an impossible sale to me. I mean, you're gonna get the hardcore collectors, people like me, and you might get some Target moms, but you're gonna have none of the casual Lego Star Wars audience interested in this set, except that they included a 25th anniversary figure in this set. This set had to be released in 2024, because if it wasn't with an anniversary figure, this would sell to quite literally almost no one. And it's not even that Young Leia is a notably well done minifig, nor was there a lot of fan demand to have this character in the 25th anniversary lineup, but the simple fact of the matter is that LEGO had to strategically release this set so that collectors would want to buy it to complete their collection of 25th anniversary minifigs. I checked on eBay, and the cheapest I could buy this figure right now for is $70, meaning for another $30, I could just go out and buy the set, and I suspect that's what many fans will end up doing. And that's where I have a really good tip for you guys. This is going to be a 50% off clearance set. There's almost no doubt about it in my mind. You will see deep discounts on this set in the second half of 2025. If you have the patience to not go and spend $100 on this right now, you will be rewarded, because there's no way this set is going to sell well. It's just going to tank, and eventually will end up on clearance and deep, deep discounts. Look, every once in a while, LEGO Star Wars does weird one-off sets like this. I think back to the 2019 Droid Boost set. You didn't see a sequel of that, and you won't see a sequel to this. There will be no second Creative Play Droid Builder set. But what saddens me the most about this set isn't that I think it's a particularly bad product or anything. It's just like, what could have been? For $100, you're telling me a Dex's Diner wouldn't have outsold this? 25th anniversary, maybe even with the same Young Leia figure, but Dex's Diner instead of this for $100 as a Target exclusive would have killed it. I appreciate that it's got a different demographic than myself, but I mean, I wish it was more geared towards me as a Dex's Diner for $100. That's my takeaway for this review. It should be a Dex's Diner. Out of 10 rating, like if you're buying it for a little kid, like you're gonna have a good time. It's gonna be good for even 9+ feels high though. Like this feels like it's for 5, 6, 7-year-olds. So even the age rating on it, now I'm staring at it, looks weird. 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, whatever. Like it's not even that important to me to rate this one. I just think it's important that you don't pay $100 for it. So that's all for this review. If you guys enjoyed, hit the like button. Almost forgot the line. You can check out more 2024 set reviews on the end screen now.